imagine they establish clarity on their values and have clarity on their strengths, and
Hmm.
they want to move towards that. But there's a giant ugly troll under the bridge. So how do you help them through that
Hmm.
step?
Yeah, the ugly troll in my world is usually the judgment that they assume is going to come upon them if they change. Yeah. So I work with very linear logical people. So a lot of it is repetition and a lot of it
Mm,
is intellectualizing. Okay, what are the feelings that come up for you when you think
yeah,
about leaving? When you think about telling your network that you're becoming a freelancer or
yeah,
whatever would be the next step for them that they're hesitating on.
yeah,
And a lot of times that step is actually networking. So when they
mm,
have to actually go out into the world and tell somebody that they're looking for a role in this industry or that they're considering leaving this job or this
yeah,
career that they've spent 15 years building. I work with
yeah,
doctors and lawyers and people who it's a big deal. It feels
yeah.
very scary and very risky
Yep.
to give that path up, not only for themselves, but everyone who's ever validated them along the way,
Hmm.
typically
Yeah.
friends, family, colleagues. And so this goes back actually to CDT and immunity to change, whether they know it or not. We design what in that context is called a test. So we think about what is the scary thing? What is the risk that you're perceiving? And how do we test that in a very safe context? So
Mm,
if it feels really scary to tell your wife that you're leaving the firm, okay, could you tell your best friend who you know is not going to judge you? But can you like say it out loud to somebody? And then what is your fear? Oh, they're going to judge you. They're going to view you as less. How do we collect information about what
hmm.
they actually think? Like,
Yeah.
how do they respond? Can you ask them some questions along the way of like, are you surprised by this? Like, do you think this is a good idea? And getting the feedback from the people in your life is typically the best way to neutralize those big, scary trolls under the bridge. Because it's a, you
Yeah.
know, it's a belief, it's an assumption. If I do this, then the world
Yeah.
ends. So how do you
Yeah.
do that in like baby steps and see that
Yep.
typically the world doesn't end? Typically people are actually very excited and inspired by
Yeah.
you taking those risks. And
Hmm.
probably more people than you know in your network have
Yeah.
something like that that they also want to do. Who knows what it is,
Yeah.
but there's something that they're not doing because they're afraid of what
Yeah.
other people might think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good and inspiring, and I hope someone that hears that is inspired too. And I think that idea of like start with a small safe context and then kind of build out, grow from there.
Hmm.
And like don't actually go to the bridge where there's like three trolls and they're really big. Maybe don't go to that one first. Maybe start with
Yeah.
a one that there's not
Yeah.
actually a troll, it's just a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And there's something about knowing who to ask for advice from too. Again, like most people that
Mm,
I work with are very well supported by mentors, by sponsors, by people in their workplace that maybe have guided them up until this point. But
mm-hmm.
if you know what they're going to
Yeah.
say and you know they're not going to approach this with curiosity, that might not be the first person that you go to.